Hey, many thanks to our friends on the 5. This is a Fox News Alert. Welcome to Hannity. We're broadcasting tonight from Washington, D.C., where members of Congress held their annual charity baseball game. Remember, just one day after a left-wing assassination attempt on Republican lawmakers. Now, we were in the stadium earlier tonight talking to some of those eyewitnesses, Republican members of Congress. And by the way, we'll play those interviews later in the show for you. But with all due respect, I am not buying this national kumbaya moment. It's not true, it's not real, and it's an outright illusion. Yesterday was a left-wing assassination attempt on Republican lawmakers. Now watch this dramatic video from the scene during yesterday's shooting rampage. Take a look.
Do we know where he's at? Do we know where he's at?
He's behind home plate.
The guy been shot. Is he okay?
Stay down! Stay down! Stay down! Stay down!
That video from just yesterday, so hard to watch. Now, the House Majority Whip, Steve Scalise, was badly injured, remains in the hospital. He's still fighting for his life tonight. Now, like tonight's game, maybe a nice attempt to show unity here. Let's not be deceived. Let's not pretend the vicious, divisive rhetoric, the vile hatred of the left, it's not going to end. In fact, I predict it's only going to get worse because Democrats, liberals, the media, they will not stop until they absolutely destroy this president's agenda. That's tonight's very important D.C. opening monologue. So, as I said, we're here at our nation's capital tonight because yesterday, across the Potomac River in Alexandria, Virginia, a radical left-wing ideologue tried to carry out a political assassination against Republican lawmakers at a baseball field. Now, investigators, they're still trying to determine the motive of this sinister attack, but we do know a lot, don't we? James Hodgkinson was a Bernie Sanders supporter, apparently volunteered on Sanders' presidential campaign. He regularly expressed his extremist views on social media, referring to President Trump as a traitor on social media, writing that, quote, "It's time to destroy Trump and company." He also belonged to a Facebook group called Terminate the Republican Party. Now, while this monster's actions are horrific and disturbing, it's part of a much larger pattern that we've been seeing from the left-wing Democrats, the Destroy Trump media in this country. Now, they have created this vortex of hatred aimed at the president. For example, just this week, an opening night performance of Shakespeare's Julius Caesar in New York City's Central Park featured a Donald Trump lookalike, again, getting brutally stabbed and murdered. By the way, some taxpayer dollars. Then there's an example, of course, so graphic, we got to warn you every time before we put it up on the screen. This is part of a vile ISIS-style photo shoot. So-called comedian Kathy Griffin posed with a fake, bloodied, severed head. You see it right there, President Trump. And there's also this hate-filled and threatening rant from Madonna. Remember back at the Women's March back in January? Here's her dreams of blowing up the White House.
And to our detractors that insist that this march will never add up to anything, you. Yes, I'm angry. Yes, I am outraged. Yes, I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
If you think a lot about blowing up the White House, maybe it should be investigated and maybe looked at by the Secret Service. And remember, before Madonna's vicious attack against the president, there was rapper Snoop Dogg in a music video. Oh, he was pretending to shoot President Trump with a gun. Take a look. Really, imagine if that was President Obama. How would the media react? And by the way, it's not just Hollywood liberals and leftists who are spreading this vicious, vile hatred towards the commander-in-chief. Of course, we got the Destroy Trump media and Democrats. They have been doing the same thing ever since he won on November the 8th. Take a look at some of this disturbing, many examples from the media themselves. Take a look.
I understand where you were coming from. I understand why you liked him. But this man is lying to you.
Trump's critics, those who are worried about this president and this White House, saw a live special television event brought to you by narcissism, thin skin, chaos, and deeply personal grievances.
This was a white lash. This was a white lash against a changing country. It was a white lash against a black president in part. And that's the part where the pain comes.
When he said today, America first, it was not just the racial, I should say racial, the Hitlerian background to it.
This is a very sad night for the country. You can't polish this turd.
When he called you fake news, what if you had called him a fake president?
He's there with his wife. He's there with his whole family. As I say, like the Romanovs. He's got Jared, who might be a part of this story, like hint, and he's got his daughter Ivanka. It's like a traveling royal Romanov family.
You can't defend what the President of the United States just said. If he took a dump on his desk, you would defend it.
And Democrats, well, they have made it a priority to target, attack, delegitimize, dehumanize the president pretty much on a daily basis. Take a look.
This executive order was mean-spirited and un-American.
Republican leaders and President Trump don't give a about the people they were trying to hurt.
I will fight every day until he is impeached. Impeach 45. Impeach 45.
This is a bunch of scumbags. That's what they are.
Those are very strong words,
organized around making money.
We've seen nothing that we can work, that I can work with President Bush on. And I'm trying really hard to find something positive. This morning he had 3 tweets. I was thinking he was more of a creature that stalked the night, that these things just came out at night like a vampire, and they tweeted these things, but now it's spread to the morning.
This is beyond psychotic, unhinged, and we've been telling you night after night right here on this program. Democrats, the left, the destroyed Trump media, you know what? They hate this president. They will do now, say anything to delegitimize and destroy him. Now, for months, they have been trying to outdo one another. You know, one black helicopter, tinfoil hat conspiracy theory after another for months and months and months, night after night, launching new and venomous attacks. And after yesterday's shooting, the liberal Huffington Post, they had to take down a disgusting article that actually called for President Trump's execution. Take a look at the headline. Impeachment is no longer enough. Donald Trump must face justice. And here's the subheadline. Impeachment, removal from office are only the first steps for America to be redeemed. Donald Trump must be prosecuted for treason if convicted and a court of law executed. Really? Pretty disturbing. And by the way, if there wasn't a left-wing assassination attempt yesterday, probably that story would still be up tonight. Then, of course, the New York Times smearing former Governor Sarah Palin in an op-ed blaming her for the 2011 shooting of former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords. Palin had nothing whatsoever to do with what happened, which is why the New York Times had to issue a correction. And earlier today, Palin tweeted that she is talking to an attorney and exploring legal options, which, by the way, she should be doing. Do it, Governor Palin. That's my advice. And by the way, here's this thing about all of this. Everything we have showed you is it's less than 1/10 of 1,000,000,000% of the divisive, hateful rhetoric that is now the left in America. We can spend an entire week just playing tapes, just showing example after example. The problem we're now facing is that no one on the left has the courage, or very few, or the fortitude to speak out and stop the hatred. And that's because Democrats use this kind of vile rhetoric every single election. Every election, what? Republicans are racist, they're sexist, they're misogynist. Let's see, they want dirty air and water, they want to throw Granny off the cliff. And that's just part of their political playbook. Islamophobic, xenophobic, homophobic. It never ends. The left objectifies Republicans, especially conservatives, into something we are not. And they know the truth, but yet they contribute to this atmosphere where Republicans, we're not even human. If you're conservative like me, God awful. How do you even speak on television or radio? Now, tonight, I know there's a kumbaya moment for the country. I'm not buying it. How do you feel about it? Joining us now with Reaction Editor-in-Chief, LifeZette, Fox News contributor, nationally syndicated radio talk show star.
Bravo.
Which is true.
Excellent monologue.
I want to say, let's go get together, but I have to forget all the crap and the truth.
Right.
And I'm not doing that.
Now, Sean, you laid it out. And tonight, you're right, nice show. It was nice spirit. That's all great. But you know, and I know, and I think most people watching Fox and most people who are sentient human beings know what game they've been playing for a long, long time. This has been going on long before Donald Trump. I mean, remember Condoleezza Rice, what they said about her? She was a house slave. Remember what they said about Colin Powell? He's in the house of the master. They were doing assassination plays about Ronald Reagan years ago. This has been going on, now amplified by a deranged left-wing media that is completely off the rails and enjoying somewhat of a renaissance during this period. They're making money off of it. They're certainly not condemning the type of speech that Maxine Waters and the DNC chair and respected celebrities are engaging in. I mean, how many people today criticize some of the things Maxine Waters has said about poisoning the water? She will not even go to the White House to meet with the president, she said, because she does not recognize him as a legitimate president of the United States. Now, you can say what you want, but if President Obama invited us to the White House, which he didn't do, but if he did, we would have gone. Of course you go. You disagree, but you would go.
Listen, I would have been there in a heartbeat.
Right.
I'd have loved it.
Right, but the idea that you are not going to go...
The first thing I would have said?
Right.
I've been right about you from the beginning.
Exactly. But the idea that you don't engage except in this cowardly, vicious, vile, politically terroristic approach.
Okay, here's what people are going to say about us tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, really? You can't stop for a night?
Yeah.
Okay, if a night would... If it really
would they? If this had been done
for a night.
If this had been done to Barack Obama, or this had been done to Nancy Pelosi, I'm talking about the mock beheadings, the Shakespeare in the Park, you would have Democrat congressmen on television 24/7 putting pressure on all of these entertainment companies and all of these celebrities and everyone who's propping them up. But today, I mean, we don't even hear many Republicans tonight speaking about this. I mean, they're having their nice moment.
I saw everyone got sucked in. And I got to tell you,
I'm sorry, but it kind of made
72 hours. It's going to start happening.
I don't think it's actually helpful for them to do what they do, because it lulls people into this sense that, oh, it's okay, we're putting our arms around each other. See, we're wearing the LSU shirt tonight. Isn't that great? No, what would be great is to actually stand up and call out the people in your own caucus who are spewing this vile rhetoric that deranged individuals are marinating themselves in 24/7 on social media.
There was no prominent Democrat with the Kathy Griffin. Do you know of any?
No.
Was it Obama? Was Hillary?
No.
None of them. Was any prominent Democrat that said that is over the line?
No. Not one.
Doesn't that speak more than this baseball game, which, by the way, I'm glad they're raising money for charity.
No, that's great. That's great. But I'm talking about this is a systemic viciousness, and those who would claim that there are those on the right who do this and those on the left. No. The stuff that's happening now, where at town hall meetings, congressmen are called every disgusting word, and then go home and find out later on there's a chalk drawing on their driveways. Their children are threatened. And they used to complain the Tea Party was violent. There was never any violence in the Tea Party.
They cleaned up.
Exactly. They actually cleaned their trash up.
You know what's really important? I feel we're just too reality based. Right. I cannot sit here and be a phony and a fake and a fraud and act like this is real.
No,
it's not.
Nancy Pelosi was on attack again today. I mean, she was on attack again. This is what they do. This is part and parcel of what they do.
I'm in D.C. It's your home turf.
Yeah.
Laura Ingraham stays with us right after the break, and she's going to sing Kumbaya when we get back.
Yeah. Lock arms.
President Trump fires back against the attacks. Another late-breaking deep state attack tonight. This well-orchestrated effort to destroy the presidency of Donald Trump will get reaction. Jay Sekulow, Sarah Carter, Greg Jarrett are back. And also tonight, later, prior to the first pitch at tonight's congressional baseball game, I did stop by the game. You can see me right there. I did speak to several lawmakers, several eyewitnesses to what happened. I asked them about yesterday's left-wing assassination attempt, and that's a part of the story you need to hear, and that you'll hear tonight on Hannity.